Hi everyone, this is Dev Khanna from Intugle, and today I'll be demonstrating how you can connect your Intugle app to an A2A inspector. A2A means agent to agent. Once I do that, I'll also be running a couple of queries inside the inspector and show you the payload coming from Intugle server. So the first step is to create your own workspace, and I've created one already named as e-commerce test. Now the next step would be to go to data connections, where I can connect my agent to whatever database I choose to, and I can also upload various files that were stored locally on my system as well. Now, once I've done that, if I click on New Session, on the right-hand side, I can see the semantic graph that's been generated based on my database and my data sets and all that. Now, when I click on Deploy, okay, so my next step is to create a chatbot, right? So how do I do that? I click on Deploy, and there are various things you need to customize in order to create your chatbot successfully. The first thing is data scope. This allows us as the users to provide the agents with whichever tables we feel that are necessary. You can select and unselect based on your need. I'm going to select all, go to next. Agent scopes defines the functionalities you want your agent to have. I have given it a data analysis orchestrator along with four functions within that. And yeah, the agent will be able to access these in order to perform its functions. Then I have few shot scope. Few shot scope basically provide examples of English queries and how they are translated into SQL queries. These are basically examples that the agent can refer to while generating their own SQL queries. Then concept scope. Concepts teach the AI how to map a specific business term directly to their raw tables, to your raw tables. And then you have dashboard scope where you can upload whatever dashboards that you feel are suitable or necessary. And then I click on next. I decide what name I want my agent to have. I'll call it e-commerce test. Then there are a couple of other things you can toggle. Uh, and the schema management, that should be okay. Next, and now we can publish it. So this may take a minute. So I will see you once it's ready. Great. As we can see, the deployment has been published successfully. So I'm going to open it in another tab. And good evening, Dave. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an example query. Yeah, this should be okay. And I'm going to go to new chat and I'm going to paste that query. Now, while the agent thinks on the Intugle platform, I'm gonna I'm gonna demonstrate how we can connect the Intugle platform to yours via an A2A inspector. So the first step would be to go to settings. I would go to A2A over here. You can see there's a URL and an API key. And if I click on how to connect, there are additional instructions that have been provided, and I will get into how we need to navigate through them. So now our next step is to go to A2A's GitHub repository, where once you've downloaded the inspector that's required, uh, now how you do so is clearly defined within the repo. You can go through that. Um, so once that's done, I will run the following four commands on in my terminal, and you will see it boot up on my local host. So I'll change my directory to front end. Okay, wait. Yeah, that should do it. Then the next one, npm run build. Okay. Will finish, waiting for changes. Now in another tab on your terminal, I would need to change my directory to backend, and then I would run uv run app.py. As you can see, it's extremely simple to follow. Uh, I would like to add that this is how it works on your Windows operating system. If you have Linux, it's even easier. You just need to run these two commands. Control click. Yeah. So as we can see, it's been successfully booted up. Now this is the A2A inspector on our local host. Now what do we do next? As we can see here, there are a few parameters that are given. So the first thing we need is our agent card. So I copy this, then I go to A2A inspector and I go to enter agent card URL. That should be sufficient. I'll click on uh, bearer token, and if I go to Intugle's platform, I will see under authentication authorization you need to type in bearer API key, which is exactly what I'm going to do. You can even copy paste your API key, that should work, and I connect it. Agent card is valid. Great. So this is your agent card, and it basically contains a lot of details about your agent. For example, you might remember that I provided my agent with the data analytics functionality, so you can see that's reported here. And there are various other things that you can go through. Now I will uh, Okay, so now let's go back to Intugle's platform. So this was a query I ran on Intugle's Mate platform, and you can see a response has been generated, right? So I'm gonna run this exact same query on our A2A inspector over here, send, and we're gonna wait while the agent thinks. Okay, so we're back. As we can see, server responded with request completed. So we're gonna go through what we've generated over here. So the first few things show the agent's thought process. As you can see over here, in progress completed. Now, if I go back to the platform and I click on data analysis, I'll see the agent's thought process as to how it approached the problem. And the same thing is reflected here on the A2A inspector. So the moment that's done, we have our response that's generated here, right? So on A2A, on the A2A inspector, we initially have this response streamed one JSON file at a time. And if I scroll to a certain extent, I'll be able to see after a certain extent. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. You can see the okay, top sellers and customers by sales performance. So if I go back to Intugle, you can see that's exactly what's being generated over here, and you can compare the output one by one as well. You can see the highest seller city is Guariba, and over here too, and the rest of the list is also exactly the same. So by this we can conclude that whatever data, whatever response is generated on the main app, the same thing is also generated on the A2A inspector, and in exactly the same format. Along with the response in itself, we also have the same response in a series of JSON files as they were being streamed and created by the agent. And yeah, that should be all. Thank you.